Learn English through story. Lover's Lies. In the sleepy town of Elmsbrook, nestled between rolling hills and ancient forests, time seemed to pass more slowly than in the bustling cities. The people of Elmsbrook, unaccustomed to the rapid shifts of modernity, held tightly to tradition and routine. Among them lived a young woman named Lydia, known for her beauty, grace, and the quiet mystery that surrounded her. She worked at the town's library, a place of dust and dreams, where rows of forgotten books waited for the few souls still inclined to visit. Lydia was often seen walking through the town square, a soft smile on her lips and her thoughts elsewhere. People would smile at her, some with admiration, others with envy, but Lydia never seemed to care much for their attention. She had her own world, her own secrets. She was in love. Her lover was Daniel, a handsome young man who had come to Elmsbrook a year before, traveling through with no intention of staying. But when he met Lydia, everything changed. He found in her the same quiet mystery that Elmsbrook held, a depth he had never encountered before. Their love blossomed quickly, yet privately, with only a few of their closest friends aware of their relationship. Lydia and Daniel would meet late at night, under the canopy of stars, in the woods just beyond town. They would talk for hours, their words weaving a delicate web of shared dreams and whispered promises. Daniel spoke of leaving Elmsbrook one day and taking Lydia with him, to see the world beyond the hills. She would always smile at the thought, though her heart was heavy with doubt. For you see, Lydia had come to learn something about Daniel, something that shook the foundations of her love for him. One evening, as they lay in the soft grass by the river, Daniel spoke of his past, his travels, and the life he had left behind. He told her of a family he had abandoned, of debts he had never repaid, and of the lies he had spun to escape it all. It wasn't the first time he had lied to Lydia, but it was the first time she had realized the weight of his deceptions. Daniel's lies were like threads in a tapestry, intricately woven into the fabric of their relationship. At first, they were small, seemingly insignificant. He would tell her he had been working late when he had, in truth, spent the evening at the tavern. He would say he had forgotten about their plans, though he had simply chosen to do something else. Lydia had always brushed these lies aside, convincing herself that they didn't matter, that they were just part of Daniel's restless nature. But as time went on, the lies grew larger, more consequential. He lied about money, about where he had been, about who he had spoken to. Lydia could feel the weight of these lies pressing down on her heart, but she didn't know how to confront him. She feared that if she did, she might lose him, and the thought of that was unbearable. One fateful evening, everything came to a head. Daniel had promised to take Lydia to a nearby town for a festival, a night of music and dancing beneath the stars. She had been looking forward to it for weeks. She had picked out a dress, one that reminded her of the colors of autumn leaves, and had imagined how they would twirl together, laughter echoing through the night. But Daniel didn't show up. Lydia waited by the old oak tree near the edge of town, the same place they always met. The sun sank lower, and the chill of the evening air began to settle in. Still, he didn't come. Her heart, once fluttering with excitement, now sank into her stomach. She knew where he was, so he had gone to the tavern again. She had seen him slipping in earlier, a fleeting glimpse through the crowded square. But she had wanted to believe his promises, wanted to believe in the man she loved. As the hours passed, Lydia found herself walking toward the tavern. Her steps were heavy, her mind swirling with the weight of her suspicions. When she arrived, she saw him. Daniel was sitting at the bar, laughing with a group of men, completely oblivious to the world outside. In that moment, something inside Lydia broke. She walked up to him, her voice steady but laced with a quiet anger. "You promised me, Daniel." He turned, surprised to see her. His expression shifted from shock to guilt, and then to something else, something colder, more detached. "Lydia, it's not what you think," he started, but she cut him off. "It's exactly what I think," she said, her voice trembling now. "You lied to me." Again, Daniel sighed, running a hand through his hair. "Lydia, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." "You never mean to," she snapped, her frustration boiling over. "But you do it anyway, every time." He looked at her, his face softening. "I love you, Lydia, you know that." Lydia stared at him, her heart aching. She wanted to believe him, wanted to forgive him like she always had. But this time, something felt different. This time, the weight of all his lies felt too heavy to bear. "Love isn't supposed to feel like this," she whispered, more to herself than to him. Daniel reached out to touch her arm, but she pulled away. "Lydia, please, don't do this." But she had already made up her mind. She couldn't keep pretending that his lies didn't hurt, couldn't keep ignoring the sinking feeling in her chest every time he made another empty promise. "I can't do this anymore, Daniel," she said, her voice firm, though her heart was breaking. "I deserve more than this. I deserve the truth." And with that, Lydia turned and walked away, leaving Daniel standing alone in the tavern, surrounded by the echoes of his own deceptions. For weeks after that night, Lydia felt a hollow ache inside her. She missed Daniel, missed the way he made her laugh, missed the way he had once made her feel alive. But she didn't miss the lies. Slowly, she began to heal, began to rediscover herself outside of their relationship. Daniel, on the other hand, found himself drifting further into the life he had tried to escape. Without Lydia, without her grounding presence, he lost himself in the very lies that had once given him the illusion of freedom. He realized, too late, that the love he had with Lydia had been the only thing keeping him from drowning in his own deceit. Months passed, and the seasons changed. One day, as Lydia was walking through the town square, she saw Daniel again. He was standing by the fountain, his once carefree expression replaced with something deeper, something sadder. He saw her too, and for a moment, their eyes met. He walked over to her, and for the first time in a long time, there was no lie in his eyes. "Lydia," he began, his voice soft, "I'm sorry." She looked at him, and though the pain was still there, she felt a sense of peace. "I know, Daniel," she replied, her voice calm, "but it's too late." He nodded, understanding that this time, there was no going back. The lies had done their damage, and no amount of apologies could undo what had been broken. As Daniel walked away, Lydia felt a strange sense of closure. She had loved him, and a part of her always would. But she had also learned that love without honesty was no love at all. She had learned that she deserved more than just words and promises. She deserved the truth, even if it was painful. In time, Lydia would find love again, but this time, it would be built on trust and honesty. And as for Daniel, He would carry the weight of his lies with him, a constant reminder of the love he had lost. Lies, no matter how small, erode the foundation of love. Without honesty, even the strongest of relationships will crumble under the weight of deception. Love is not just about passion and promises, it's about trust, transparency, and the courage to be truthful, even when the truth is hard. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.